It is the Flow Friday Sports Show here on Flow FM, and it's time to go into the world of sprint cars. And joining me on the line to talk about the latest sprint car and speedway action is Bruce Phillips, one of our most prominent sports commentators here on Flow FM. Bruce, great to be back with you again. How are you?
G'day, Ellis. Yeah, good to be back. And it was actually quite a big weekend last weekend around Australia and sprint car racing. We've got also some results locally at Murray Bridge. And then we'll go into this week's nominations and where they're racing this weekend, and wrap up the show with the all-important all the wins for the drivers. So we'll go through the whole season of the feature wins and who's leading the features of the wins this season in 2023.
Well,
24.
hold on, Bruce. Don't get too ahead of yourself. We want the listeners to stick around. You're giving it all away too early here. Let's go by your exact order, though. Let's start last weekend with the Perth Motorplex, Bruce.
Yeah, well, I had the Cricky Boy shootout over there, and part of our team managed to get over there from local sprint car photography and media, and go to a couple of the nights over there, and it was a huge crowd over there from our team reporting back. And look, it was some great racing too. And on night one of the Cricky Boy shootout, it was the local hero over there, Callum Williamson, in the W3, who made the trek over here for the Australian title and, of course, the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic in January. And look, he's just keeping his season rolling, pardon the pun, and got the win over there from Brad Mayolo in the W77. And Lockie McHugh, of course, the reigning champion, Australia won, got that victory in late January down there at, Warrnambool's SunGold Stadium. And next year, of course, the Australian title to be held at Murray Bridge. But, Callum Williamson, Brad Mayolo, Lockie McHugh got the chocolates there on night one of the Cricky Boys shootout. Now we move to Saturday last week, mate, and there was a lot of racing around Saturday. First, we'll go to that beautiful little, I love this speedway, big, large speedway there at Heartland Raceway, just over the bridge across the Murray River. And you've got Echuca on one side in Victoria and Moama in New South Wales, just over the bridge. And it's only about 7 or 8 minute drive from the bridge and down the road, and you run into this magnificent, huge speedway there at Heartland Raceway, Moama. And they had the big meeting down there last week of the Mainline Dynamometers 360 All-Stars Sprint Car All-Star Series Round 5, and sad news during the week that the promoter of this, Mandy Searle, is in fact calling it quits at the end of the year after 17 years. So there's a bit of news too, but congratulations to Mandy Searle, done a great job as a promoter of the Mainline Dynamometers All-Star Series. Now, Rusty Hickman in the V40 got the chocolates from Chris Solomon in the V11 and his brother Paul Solomon in the V7, so almost a Solomon show. And Ryan Davis in the V95 and Todd Mould in the Darwin 26 got in 5th place. Our local boy from South Australia out of Gawler in, of course, Mark Caruso, the current 360 Australian champion, he got 6th place. Other events last Saturday night, well, Murray Bridge Speedway, the MMS Speedway there, had a club show. Let's just quickly run through the winners there. In the junior sedans, it was Henry Brumfield. In the junior sedans, New Stars, it was Violet Thorne. In the mod light, Justin Chadwick continues on his merry way in the S73. The V6 sprint cars, the sprints, they call them, Nick Hall. Now, this guy in the S8, he has got so many feats to win. I'd really love to see Nick have a go in a sprint car. Damien Eves was the runner-up there. In the wingless sprints, it was Jack McCarthy who got the job done at Murray Bridge in the club show last week. Moving back into Ballarat in Victoria at Redline Raceway. Now, we'll start with the rotten accident that happened there last week. The young lad named Luke Storer. Now, he's had a couple of good wins this season, has Luke, and really has been finding some good speed. And last week, unfortunately, he had good speed and tumbled over and got injured in the race. So our thoughts go out to Luke and a speedy recovery. I think he cracked T1, 2, 3 and 5 bones in his back. So really laid up on his back, pardon the punt at the moment. And so we're thinking of Luke's score and hopefully a speedy recovery. Josh Buckingham got the chocolates there from Jacob Smith and Adam Greenwood in that Red Line Raceway in the Pro Sprint Car Series, which are the 360s. Moving right along up to New South Wales at Gilgandra. And what a meeting this was. They had something like about 14 running the A main, and all you had to do in the end was just cross the finish line, and you got on the podium. Just 3 cars finished this race, and it was Warren Ferguson in the N32 getting the job done from Ben Marchette in the N61 and Brad Stacey in the N76. And one of the drivers in this one, Zach Pacharoa in the N42, our local sprint car photography and page support him. So he unfortunately didn't finish with about 8 other blokes, including Manish, Thomas, Sayer, Rawlings, Addard, Elliott, Wright. So just an incredible race that only 3 finished. Moving on to Western Australia, up north, big meeting they had up there at Carnarvon, and lovely little spot up there as you head up the coast to Monkey Mire, about 140 k's or something like that from Monkey Mire, and there was the family fun night, and it was a big fun night over there with Nathan Davis getting the feature win in the sprint cars in the W36 from Anthony Gordigo in the W43 and Blake Jackson in the W41. So good meeting up there at Carnarvon in Western Australia, right up north. Going back to Saturday night last week in the night 2 action of the Cricky Boys shootout, and it was a brilliant race, this one, and it had everything. And look, they got even the USA Brock Nearfoss back, and he was piloting the USA 95, but unfortunately he didn't finish. And in this one, it was Jock Goodyear who got the win from Callum Williamson, who, as we said before, got it night 1. So Goodyear back in his, well, it's still the same car, really. He's just changed the number, of course, last year's Australian champion, and he got it done in T22, Callum Williamson W3, and Lockie McHugh, the Australia 1, in 3rd place. So Goodyear, you might say, just got a bit of revenge back on McHugh, who a couple of weeks ago took out the Australian title. Wrapping up last weekend's coverage, and this one we head to Western Springs Speedway. This is over the ditch at Auckland, New Zealand, and they had the North Island Sprint Car Championship over there. And a guy we've seen over here in Australia, Michael Pickens, in the N22, getting the job done from Jonathan Allard in the USA 4 and Matt Leversedge in the NZ3. So a bit of a New Zealand result there in the big Western Springs Speedway, Auckland, New Zealand, North Island Sprint Car Championship. So, of course, their season getting underway. That wraps up last week, mate.
There we have it, Bruce. And don't for a minute pardon your puns, because pretty much every operator in here is obsessed with dad jokes these days, Bruce. So you're fine on that front. Now, time's getting the better of us, so we better quickly take a look at this weekend, Bruce. What can we expect in the sprint cars over the weekend?
There's only two racing this weekend, and that's the Southern Shootout Series, and that one's at Mildura. So the 410, pretty big news, returning to Mildura since they've done all the fence, the catch fence and all the lights up. So good luck to Mildura, Timmer Speedway, 26 nominations there. And the other one racing this weekend is up in Queensland, the USC Round 4, and some good nominations there, up around 40 nominations there. So that should be a great meeting too up there, and we'll have the results of those next week. Wrapping up, let's have a look at the all-important leaderboard, and it is Jock Goodyear leading the way on 13 feature wins and having a great season from Lockie McHugh on 9, of course, the current Australian title holder. So there's the top 2. Brodie Davis out of Queensland on 9, and Jamie Veal on 5. Carson Macedo, who come over from America, the USA driver with 4 wins. and Rusty Hickman and Brad Sweet, another USA driver, Brad Sweet, on 3 wins, and 2 other Americans there, Brew, Cordensfield and Aaron Reitzel, all on 2 wins, down to Tate Frost out of Tasmania on 2, James Inglis on 2, Callum Williamson on 2, Dane Kingshot from Perth on 2, and, of course, Dan Mose and Brock Hallett and Ryan Jones all on 2 wins. So that's a bit of a wrap-up of the feature wins so far across the season, and a big wrap of the weekend in Speedway. And we look forward to being back next week, mate.
We do, and great work too to the author of the local sprint car photography and media page, Lockie Phillips, bringing you all that data there. Bruce, thanks so much for your work. Enjoy all the action. We'll speak to you again next week.
Look forward to it, Ellis. We'll see you then, buddy.